Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I am so grateful that you are here. This is a video about tips on creating your own home yoga practice. So I posted a poll over on my Instagram a week or two ago asking you guys what you wanted to see next, and this one won out. So let's talk tips for creating your own home yoga practice. First and foremost, in order to really support you in starting a home yoga practice, whether you are new to yoga or an experienced practitioner, is just to commit to an online instructor or an in-person class at least once a week, just to kind of keep you working on alignment, practicing safely, and staying inspired. So even if it's classes on YouTube or on Instagram, even things like that, like whatever it is that works, that makes it easy for you to keep up with your practice outside of your own practice, but they kind of play off each other. So you'll end up getting more out of both, in my opinion. The next thing I would like to talk about is creating your space. So a space that you feel really comfortable practicing in. I actually love practicing right in front of the fireplace in the morning before my son wakes up. Just before I face the day, I love practicing right in front of the fireplace. I do have a room set up in my place that's very pretty. I take a lot of photos there, but it's right outside my son's bedroom, so it's not as practical for my early morning practices, which is the time of day that I truly love to just kind of tune in and have my time and my practice. To go along with that, having your own space that you're comfortable in, feel free to make it as beautiful as you want, as comfortable as you want. Just maybe set it aside. My space here that I like to practice with isn't as set aside as my other space where I take a lot of photos and create content, etc. But it is cozy with the fire and the rug, and sometimes I don't even use a mat just because I know that I can just wake up, grab my coffee, and just come right on this little rug in our living room from the fire. So whatever makes it easiest, I would say, most comfortable and accessible, works. My next tip is to just not have any expectations for yourself. Don't set expectations that are like, oh, now I'm going to just explode and become like a gymnast, or so flexible, or so whatever it might be. Basically just arrive and allow your practice, or whatever practice happens that day for you, to support your body and your energy and your emotions. So I think the biggest thing for me is my practice sometimes is like me laying down and maybe doing some laying down stretches, because that is what I need, whether it's physically or emotionally or mentally. So, and then it really supports my whole being the rest of the day. Other times it's a lot more active, and that sets me up for a better day. So allow your practice to be what it is and to be supportive. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, allow your practice to be supportive for you, and not something that you're showing up and you're like, I have to perform, or I have to like do this thing, or whatever it is. Sometimes you'll show up and you'll be like, oh, I really want to work on this pose I saw in class, or I saw on Pinterest or Instagram or something, and I really want to practice it and play with it and all the things. And that is wonderful too. Like, all the things, there's a place for all of it. But I think just kind of seeing what happens, being open to any of those possibilities, allows all the possibilities to be there, if that makes sense. Another main tip, like major, is to take a moment before you practice and to check in, just to allow yourself to notice how you're feeling. Not just like physically, but that's very important too, but also emotionally, mentally, all the things. Notice like what is there. Notice where your body might be representing emotions you're holding on to, your mood. Notice anything that's different or off, or maybe even better than normal. Notice all those things. Sometimes I just take a moment and sit like this, and I'll just go through a few rounds of deep breathing, and it really helps set the tone for what would be the most supportive in my practice. And then to go along with the tip of committing to a regular once a week class taught by an online instructor or an in-person instructor, I would say to allow those sequences to inspire you. So sometimes it's nice to just have a sequence you want to play with and then allow your creativity to go from there. So when I'm in yoga class at my gym, the instructor will do this sequence that I'm just like, oh, like that was a really cool way to do that, to go from here to there, or this pose to that, or whatever it is. And then I'll be like, well, I really want to play with that. And then I will play with that in my own practice. And a lot of times it will lead to something else. And it's just really cool how you can build onto these things and use that once to a couple times a week external practice to help your at-home practice. And it just keeps your creativity flowing and keeps you inspired. And so you're not just showing up every morning like, well, I don't really want to do this because I don't know what to do, or I'll end up doing the same poses or whatever it is, or the same sequences or flows. So that goes along with that tip. So I have personally found it really helpful and really fun. It just keeps it fresh, keeps me learning and growing in my own practice, and kind of improving my creative flow as well. So I actually have a course that dives really deep into all of these things and more things as well to help you create an at-home practice. And that link is in my link tree, which I'll see if I can post in the comments down here, but if not, it's in my Instagram bio, which is cealia.jane. So I'll put that here if you guys are interested in that course. I mean, it's not a huge investment. It's like $10, but it's like a really good starting place for putting all of these tips and then other tips into practice. And then I also have a bunch of flows here on my channel that you can please feel free to use anytime that you need like a spark of inspiration, or you just are like not wanting to think of a flow and you just want to move your body. And I also have a bunch of daily flows on my Instagram subscription and on my yoga teaching website, which is also in my Instagram bio. So I have lots of resources for you guys if you don't have an online instructor already, or if you don't have a in-person class you're going to, or if you're just looking for something new, or if you like my classes and my flows, like that would be amazing. So I do have those available for you guys as well. I actually have one more tip before I close out, because I wanted to share the most important ones, but this one is one that it's super like inspirational and creative as well. It's listening to music or a podcast or a meditation or a motivational speech or whatever it is. I find myself doing this a lot actually while I'm flowing, whether it's music or lately it's been, I listen to Wayne Dyer and Michael Singer and Louise Hay a lot. And lately I've been adding Joe Dispenza in. I used to listen to him a lot, and I've just been revisiting a lot of his stuff. And so I will kind of cycle through whoever it is that I've been really into listening to, and while I'm flowing. And it's just a cool way to bring movement and all the concepts they're talking about together. So that is a big recommendation as well. That's my bonus one, I guess, for this video. But yeah, those are my main tips for starting your home practice, and just have fun with it. Like, kind of let there be no rules. And if there are rules, let yourself break them. You know, like, it's your thing. You should feel supported. It should help you with your life, whether it's a stressful moment or emotionally heavy or whatever it is. Your practice is there for you, and you don't have to make it into this giant, unapproachable thing. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'm so excited to post a bunch more flows for you guys here and in my subscription flows for you as well. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you next video. Bye-bye.